Got a new haircut today. It's really fuzzy. It's nice. I like it. Today, besides my wonderful, amazing haircut, which I fixed up a little bit once I got home because I'm indecisive when I'm in there and I don't want to put too much pressure on the person. Today was my first endocrinologist appointment, as I said yesterday. It was with Dr. Hatfield in Seattle at the polyclinic, and it was amazing. We got there a little bit late. Still on time, but a little later than we wanted to because we wanted to fill out all the paperwork before we got in. And it was amazing. His assistant came in and she took my weight. She measured how tall I was. I'm 6 feet tall. No matter what the sheet says, I am not 5'10". There is no way I'm 5'10". Back on topic. So he came in. He asked me a few questions about myself. Some kind of weird personal questions like what my favorite subject in school is, things like that, and like it was weird. What my passions were. I said art, because I couldn't really think of anything else at the time. I'm pretty passionate about all of my interests, but art was the first thing that came off the top of my head. And then he asked me why I was there, and of course I said he asked for my name, Oliver. He asked for my preferred pronouns, what I identify as, so like FTM trans guy. And then he asked me what I was hoping to get from the visit, and he asked my mother, who was sitting right next to me, the same thing. I said I was hoping to wonder how the timeline would be tracked out throughout, if I was able to start T before I turned, by the time I turned 18, if not sooner. And if I could get my blood work done, which you can see right there's a little hole in my arm. And so I said that. He was like, okay. So he turned to my mother, and my mom was like, I was just hoping to know the side effects of testosterone, and if my child, and then birth name, it's fine. She's still getting used to it. I'm still everyone's still getting used to it. But she asked if the side effect, if in the future, hypothetically, if I wanted to go back on the transition, would it be possible? What things would be permanent? So we gave her the consent form and talked about it for a little bit. I had a lot of statistics about the 67,000 trans people that were in a survey group, and like how only 3% of them regretted their transition, and it was because of social reasons, not that they were detransitioning, which I know detransitioning is a completely valid thing. It's just that he didn't really include them in the statistic, which I'm kind of grateful for, because I don't want my mother to think that it could possibly be even a tiny fraction could be a phase or anything. But that's not to devalue and to like go against people who detransition. All the respect to you. Just stay true to yourself, you know? And like, but it was interesting that he didn't really bring that up. He also said that being transgender is in your brain, a little sector of the brain, and you can spot it and you can figure out what the person's gender is, if they're like they're a cis man or a trans woman, or a cis woman. I hate my dog sometimes. Stop. And apparently you could see whether or not what gender they were. So that was pretty interesting. So we went over that. He went over the informed consent form and talked to my mother about the different ages of starting T, and that if I were to wanting to fully pass by the time I'm in college, which is something that I told him and something I really want, because I want to, when I get to college, I want to be seen as me, how I see myself, as opposed to how other people have grown to see me with this high-pitched feminine voice and things like that, the whole 9 yards. So he said that it would be great if I could start as soon as possible would be ideal for this. My mother has always been on the fence about me wanting me to not start T until I turn 18, because she wants me to be an adult to be able to consent to this decision as an adult, in case it turns out that I want to go back on the decision. I'm really being redundant here, I think. But the fact is, I came out to her when I was 15, 17 now, and I haven't really doubted it for a second since. I haven't really doubted it since I figured out I was trans. So by the end of the appointment, she had been completely informed about the transition and how that would work. And Dr. Hatfield was super pleasant. He was amazing. He was very kind. He went through the process of how injections would work, how you would get it injected in your stomach instead of he would inject in the stomach, but the first time he would inject it or guide me through a self-injection, and then the second time I came in, it had to be a self-injection, and which is great, because I don't think I have that big of a problem with needles. It might take a little bit to get used to, a little bit of practice, but I can absolutely do that. Self-injection should be easy. He also said that it was $40 for a 6-month vial from Rite Aid, which is great because my little T fund here doesn't have that much cash. Oh, and also, the appointment was completely covered by insurance. In the state of Washington, where I live, all the medical transition-y stuff is covered mostly by insurance. Blood work still costs $130, but that's rational. I can totally pay for that, and then blood work past that it comes with the appointment. So it's great. Going home, I was like floating on the high, and like my mom said, I asked her when Dr. Hatfield went out to print some things, like how he gave me a letter for changing my gender marker. He gave me a letter for changing my gender marker on my driver's license, which is amazing. I'm gonna send that in right away as soon as I can. And then he changed my name in the medical system. Not my name. He changed my gender in the medical system. So now it says male right there. It's official. What's up? Yeah, so it's really great. Here's my dogs, by the way. They came into my room. Oh, here it goes, baby. This is Kona. So that was awesome. It was absolutely incredible. I got my blood work done. What do you want? I got my blood work taken. It was awesome. Really easy. Just like that. Nice dude came in, was like, wrapped some stuff around my arm, stabbed me with a needle, injected it twice. Extracted it twice. Super easy. I had to skip school today. Oh boy. But stop licking me. But it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Yeah. I wasn't smiling the entire time. I don't really like smile, you know, and like when people are talking that I know. Usually when people I'm talking, at least when my friends are talking, I have this really dumb goofy grin on my face, like yeah. But like when people I don't know are talking, stop licking me. When people I don't know are talking to me, I usually just have this expression like. So but I was smiling. I was really excited. My mom was absolutely like 100% on board with everything he was talking about. She finally got to ask questions to an actual medical professional, which she's been wanting to do for a while, because like she asked me questions, and I'm not decent at explaining things, as you might imagine from my ramblings, but it was nice to have her actually have this sort of discussion with an actual medical dude. And he's been in the trade for transgender community people and gender non-conforming people for the past since 1999, I think he said, and he's pretty experienced in it. He's treated trans people from ages 4 to like 67. Really cool dude. Like the most politically correct man I ever met. He was like asking me if my relationships, do I primarily find myself in relationships with people with vaginas or people with penises, and then he explained to my mom why he said it like that instead of saying male and female, which is really cool. And my mom was like, oh wow, that's really neat. I'm talking really fast and rambling, and I'm sorry, but I'm excited. The entire time I drove home, I was like the most happy person ever, honestly. It's like, you know how, stop it. You know how they have those like poster like gender euphoria instead of gender dysphoria. I feel like this was my first time really experiencing gender euphoria, because honestly it was incredible. It was like, honestly, literally a life-changing experience. So my mom agreed that she would let me start T as soon as I could. So on the 19th, she's going to be talking to my dad, who I don't live with. I live with my mom and my stepdad. She would be talking to my dad about this. I came out to him a while ago. It's a complicated process. We don't really have the best relationship, regrettably, but, you know. So she's going to talk to him about that on the 19th. Today's the 5th, so 14 days, which isn't bad in the grand scheme of things, but I no longer have to wait 158 days to start T. I don't have to wait till my 18th birthday. I'm so much closer to starting to become the person I want to be. And that is, honestly, I'm kind of tearing up right now because it's so big for me. I've been waiting for this moment since I was 17, since I was 15, since I first came out, when I first realized that, yo, I'm actually not a girl. It's crazy. I cannot believe that I made it this far, and I'm so glad I hung out and I kept going and I kept going for this to happen, you know, for me to be able to be where I am, and I'm so close. I am so close. I have, my gender marker is going to be changed. I'm still deciding on the name. Oliver is new for the people who follow my blog, because it's the name that I'm most comfortable with at the moment. I still need to introduce myself as that to my friends. They don't know that I prefer a new name yet, but, you know, I'm on my way, you know? I'm on my name. I'm on my way. I'm figuring things out, and that's wonderful. I'm so excited, and, like, applies to this Hamilton quote that's on my wrist. It says, "Never back down, never learn to take your time." I'm going, man. I'm kind of rambling now, but short story short, I got my endo appointment today. Dr. Hatfield is great. If you live in the Seattle area or in the Pacific Northwest at all, I highly recommend seeing him. Some people came to him from California, Montana, East Coast. Two people apparently even came from Europe and Alaska. That's crazy. And he was the nicest gentleman he shook my hand. He greeted me using my proper pronouns, something my mother is still struggling with. But she's getting better at it. I talked to her about, like, what does she think about the name Oliver, and she said that it would take a little bit, obviously, but she could do it. She likes it a lot more than my previous chosen name, which was Jem, which sounds too similar to her own name, which I understand, because her name is Jen, my name was Jem, and also Jem is too femme. God, I'm rambling and rhyming and everything. But, so Oliver is working right now. Oliver fits here. It was the first time I've really had someone else use it other than myself when I'm talking to this cam right now, but it was exciting. It was really exciting. I can't wait to look back in like 5 years and be like, hey, check it out. I'm grown now. Look at this beard that I'm growing. And also, completely off topic. Relatively off topic. I talked about beard. I'm getting minoxidil on Friday. It should be delivered on Friday. Minoxidil is the Kirkland brand stuff that makes your hair, it's supposed to treat bald spots, but some trans people and some cis guys have used it to get their beards growing, and I've decided I'm going to test out a 6-month supply, see if it gives me anything other than the stuff that's on my lip right now and in the corners right here. Ow, that kind of hurt. So that'll be cool to test out. I'll update y'all on that. I'll apply it first on video if I can. But it's good. Life's good. Got some homework to do, but when do I not, you know? But yeah. That's for my day. Not bad for a lazy Tuesday. Well, gotta not go to school today too, which was even better, you know. But it was good. I'm gonna keep repeating that it was good until like I stop talking. Alright. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all later.